At away point, a clean sheet, Michael. How do you sum up what you've just watched?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I've got to be happy with a clean sheet. I thought we were much better tied throughout the 90 minutes. I thought we dominated territory in the game, obviously especially in that first half. I know the elements, the wind helped us, but I think you could see the second half how really, it was one of them where we didn't want to use that as an excuse. That I thought we played quite well in that second half as well, and had just as much territory as them, and certainly had much better opportunities than them, but the goal eluded us for some reason.
Yeah, how difficult was it for both sets of players, the conditions? It's still extremely windy as we're doing this interview here in Barrow. How tough was it for both teams?
Yeah, it was very tough, very tough. I mean, obviously, you see now, obviously Barrow in the first half struggled to get out their own half, and I think the only disappointment for me at half time was that we wasn't 1 or 2 goals up, and we should have took advantage of that. But like I say, I was pleased how we dealt with the elements in the second half. I thought we passed the ball a lot shorter. We wasn't in a rush to go forward too soon. Switches of play, there was a couple of times where we tried to make that happen too soon, and they were too big, and obviously what happens, it goes out of play because of the wind. So a lot of lessons learned throughout the game, but ultimately, apart from obviously getting the goal and doing the obvious thing, I've got to be happy and delighted with it.
Were you actually a little bit concerned at half-time going in 0-0, the fact you hadn't been able to quite capitalise on having the better of the weather conditions in that first half? Yes
and no, weirdly. I said to the players at half-time, I said weirdly, it's going to make us play a little bit more. It's going to make us pass the ball, it's going to make us take the ball off each other. It's going to demand, because as soon as you try and sort of play forward and go into panic mode, it was just coming straight back at you anyway. So yeah, it was a little bit of both really. I was hoping that we'd shorten our game, which we did in the second half, and like I say, we actually made it look a lot sort of easier than it actually was on the day.
How pleased are you with the goalkeeper, Will Brook? Didn't have a lot of saves to make, but came and claimed crosses and kicked the ball extremely well, and he played his part in that clean sheet. Yeah, he did. Listen, he had one big save to make, didn't he, in the scramble, and he did that superbly. But you're right, I mean, the most impressive thing for me about Will at the minute, today it was his kicking. His kicking was outstanding, but he looked so mature between the sticks, to be fair, for someone such a young lad of a young age. Not a lot of experience in obviously league football, but yeah, he looked very, very mature, and he looks like someone who you can sort of rely on. I think that's important. I think it's important to feel that, and when you're on the pitch, and the players are doing that at this moment in time. You brought Anthony Scully and Harrison Biggins back into the starting 11. Happy with how they performed on their return?
Yeah, I thought Big O was mixed, to be fair, and I think he'll admit that. Did some really, really good things and then some silly things. Happy with Scholes, he's getting sharper. Thought he had some really good moments in the game. Looked like he could score a goal, which is important for us, obviously. So yeah, the fitter and sharper we get him, the better we're going to be as a team.
And what about Ishmael Cabier? You put him to right wing back in the second half last weekend. He played the full game there today. Happy with how he's adapted, and what's your thought process about playing him in that position?
Yeah, listen, I can't speak highly enough of Ishmael. He's played numerous positions since he's come through the door, and he's done them really, really, really well, and he's super competitive for such a little guy. He's obviously got the natural speed and pace that everyone's aware of, but again, he's someone who's obviously very mature as well. He knows and seems to sense danger at times, so that's why we're comfortable playing him in that position, and I think he'll grow, from strength to strength in it.
What about the away supporters? As you know, it's a long way from Shropshire up here to Cumbria, and travelled in good numbers again and got behind the team.
They really got behind the team. It was great, and obviously, when the 6 minutes went up, I was still sort of positive that we could go on and win the game, but ultimately, as it happened, we had to defend a little bit, and that was the only time really I felt that we needed to defend in that second half. And to be fair, the crowd got behind us, and even Will got involved with them as well, which probably deserved the yellow card, to be honest with you. But no, they were great for us today. They really stuck with the team and got behind them.
And moving forward, are you hopeful, optimistic that things are going to fall into place? for you?
I hope so. I mean, ultimately we've done enough and done everything that we can do today other than score a goal, and I know that's the most important thing, but behind that, to try and back up that, obviously you need to keep clean sheets. We've done that today. It's amazing to think the goals that we conceded, 11 games in, yet we've actually kept 3 clean sheets as well. It's crazy. So we know we're capable of it. We just have to make sure that we turn 1 or 2 of those sort of 0-0s into a 1-0, and if we could do that next week, hopefully we can go on a little bit of a run.
Yeah, you got a couple of home games coming up now. Ordinarily, you'd be delighted, I'm sure, about that. But with home form being as it has been for much of 2025, what are your thoughts about having a back-to-back home game?
Well, listen, we have to win at some point, and we've come very, very close in recent weeks and months on numerous occasions. I'm not going to say it, but you know what I mean. There's one thing that we definitely got to do to give ourselves a chance, obviously, and once we do that, again, under our own sort of fans and supporters, I'd like to think, and I'm sure that they'll get right behind the players, and that might be the difference between sort of winning and losing.
Thanks for your time, Michael.
Cheers.